afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. A new kind of Toastmasters. Toastmasters, in an effort to continually improve itself, sends out surveys to its members asking them what they liked, what they didn't like, what are their primary complaints. What do you think are the primary complaints of the Toastmaster members? Please shout it out now.
Halfway. Not hard enough.
Not enough time.
Okay, that's all good answers. The answer is Toastmasters feel that the members are just too nice and too supportive. And they would prefer a tougher, meaner type of Toastmasters where they're held more accountable. Or if you don't give a good speech, the evaluator lets you know. The members let you know with their feedback slips of paper. And you're likely to see something like, "You really suck today, Johnny. Unless you improve, we are not going to allow you to come back." That's what the Toastmaster members are asking for, and Toastmasters International is listening. They have decided in their infinite wisdom to come up with a new type of Toastmasters. A tougher, meaner, you're held more accountable type of Toastmasters, and it's going to be called Tuffmasters. And they decided to put me in charge of it. And I'm taking this job very seriously. I've been traveling around the globe looking for the perfect location. At Toastmasters' expense, of course. Just 2 months ago, I was over in Europe. And in Europe, I decided to explore the castles. And in the castle, I went down to the dungeon. And I saw in the dungeon there was torture equipment. And I thought this could be a great location for a Tuffmasters meeting. Just think about it. If somebody knew that they were going to give a speech the next day, if they didn't do a good job, they would be tortured. Do you think they might actually practice the night before instead of watching an hour and a half of TV? I think they would. But as I was sitting there in the dungeon, another thought occurred to me. It's not too hot down here. It's not too cool. The temperature is actually quite nice. This is not the harsh environment we need for Tuffmasters. I decided to move on. And then I found myself in Las Vegas for a realtor convention because I am a realtor. And after the day's events were over, I decided to explore Las Vegas. And when you're going to explore Las Vegas, where do you normally go? That's right, the desert. I went out to the desert, and it was really hot out there. I thought it was so hot you could fry an egg. Fortunately for me, I carry eggs in my pocket. I took one out, cracked it open, and dropped it down to the desert ground. And it started frying. And I thought, this is perfect. What an advertising slogan. Come to Tuffmasters. It's so hot, you could fry an egg. As I was standing there, another thought occurred to me. There's no address here. You can't just tell people come out to the middle of the desert, we have a meeting. People have a hard enough time finding this place, and there is an address. It started late. How are people going to find this in the middle of the desert? So I gave up that idea. And then I was driving over to West Palm Beach. And to get to West Palm Beach, you have to go right through the middle of Florida. And there's a lot of interesting things in the middle of Florida. As I was driving, something caught my eye. It was an abandoned warehouse that really looked abandoned. I had to check it out. I got in my car, walked around to the back, and I saw that it was a big backyard with no trees, no shade, big flies flying around, and I imagined snakes too. And boy, was it hot. Just walking from my car to the backyard, I was sweating profusely. I thought this is a great harsh environment for Toastmasters. And then I peered through the windows, and I saw that there's some beds and a kitchen, and all these ideas started swirling through my mind of the possibilities. Maybe just instead of having a weekly meeting, we could turn this into a camp, like a boot camp, and immerse people in Tuffmasters. Cut them off from their friends and family and take them in their cell phones. I got so excited about all this, I immediately contacted Toastmasters International named Ralph. I said, Ralph, we gotta get this place. Ralph agreed. He immediately wired down the money. I got the money. I found the owner of the abandoned warehouse, and we bought it. Tuffmasters is now going to be a reality. It's going to take place in 2020, and the best time of year in Florida between July and September. Now you might be asking, what's going to happen at this Tuffmasters? It's going to be a much higher level of accountability. If you don't give a good speech, you won't eat that night. And you'll be asked to give the same speech the next day. And if you don't do it good again, you won't eat again. You're going to give a good speech eventually, or you may starve to death. And at table topics, you're going to be down the ground doing push-ups with your face right over an ant pile. And the table topics master is a former drill sergeant. And he knows you didn't eat last night because you didn't give a good speech. And he's likely to ask you a question like this. Toastmaster, do you enjoy wine with your steak? And as you're doing this push-up, if you don't do a good job, the table topics master is going to take his foot and push you down to the ground so your face goes right into the ant pile. That's what you can expect at Tuffmasters. Sign up today before we get shut down.